Alex. I wanted to kind of take a trip down memory lane today because it's quite an important month. It's six years this month that you were appointed Arsenal manager, and I guess I just wanted to go through those memories with you. What was that first phone call like with the club when you knew this was a reality?
The first phone call was with Edu, and he called me probably just to test the water and see, okay, how does it feel? It was the connection and was the possibility to bring Mikel back to the club. And straight away, I think we talked for an hour and 15 minutes about a lot of topics, not much about tactics or the team, but more about what was happening at the club and the idea and the will that we both had to bring the club back to the highest level. And from there, everything happened very, very quickly in the next few days, and suddenly I was here.
Suddenly you were here. I mean, a lot of people remember those moments. You know, I still remember I was, sat in that car when I got my driver's license or something like that. But where were you where you got that phone call that this is it, it's done, come in, sign the papers?
It was, I think, when we all got together. At the moment, it was Edu, it was Vina, it was Raul, and it was Josh. And then I got a feeling that this is happening. There's no way back from here. And they're not gonna let me change my mind. And I was, so convinced that it was the right thing to do, and I had to take it. It was obviously as well a huge risk because I never managed anybody in my life. I just was assistant coach for Man City and in the coaching staff of Pep. And suddenly you have to become the manager as a football club, and a lot of question marks with that.
Yeah, I bet. And that first press conference that you do, I mean, when you look back on it now, are you like, oh my God, I was a baby at that point? I mean, and what were your memories of it? Were you nervous going into it?
I don't think so. I think I was so on it. I was so enthusiastic. I think it's something that I wanted so much, and I had the opportunity to deliver that, and it was so much to do that it was just a massive ball of energy, will, and determination.
Wow. And I guess meeting the players for the first time, as manager, I mean, for so many managers when they go into any club, as the new gaffer, they've got to make that impression. For you, did you feel like this was already home? You'd been here, you'd played here, and how did you get that message across to the players for the first time?
It was to players and staff, and it was in one of the rooms upstairs. And what I did is I put the room in a really awkward place. So a lot of things on the floor. It looked a big mess. And I said, this is the impression, and this is how a lot of people have described the moment that we are in. So if you want me to come and help you to get this to the standards and the level and the enjoyment that deserves to be part of this football club, get everything together and let's start working.
Wow, did you? So that's the kind of the vibe you wanted to start with, almost like, as you say, there a little bit awkward in the room that everyone realised we've got to start again.
Everybody went in and everything was through the floor and the tables and the seats and the computers and cables, and it has to be an absolutely joy, pleasure, and we have to be so grateful every single day that we are here, and we have to enjoy being with each other. And the only thing to do it is if we start to build a culture that reflects that. Without that, we have no chance. So forget about the tactics of my idea of football or what I want to do or how good you are, because this is not going to happen. Because I've been in another club recently, and I know how they operate, and we are 10 years behind.
Yeah, wow. And how important was it for you, obviously winning that FA Cup in that 6-month period? Because, you could see, even I remember there was that video of you walking into the dressing room with the cup, banging it, making the noise. It felt like that was a real bonding moment between not just you and the club again, but you and the players in that moment.
But it was an incredible experience. Obviously, I took over my first job, and 3 months later, you're hit by COVID, and the world collapsed. You cannot talk to players, you cannot train them. You don't know what's going to happen next. Financially, obviously, it was a massive uncertainty. So how do you build something with all these basically foundations not being there? I mean, where we're going to go and what I'm going to do. But it was a great period to reflect and analyze as well who we were and what I wanted to do it and start a journey together, and that helps. Obviously, winning helps. Didn't have our people there, but it was a great moment, and from there we started to build the blocks to become who we are now.
Absolutely, and one of the main things that I think a lot of Arsenal fans would agree on is that since your appointment and over the course of the last 6 years, the fan base has been such a community and has been, so solid and together. Did you always set out to do that, to kind of reunite the fans with the club? Because it went through some difficult periods.
Yes, but I think that was a stage 2. Stage 1 is, can we build the best culture that we possibly can? Can we make everybody at the club feeling a sense of pride? And to do that, I did something. I classified the people working in the organization, whether are staff or players, in 2 brackets. The people that are involved in what we do, or the people that are fully committed to what you do, and it's very different.
Have you always been like this? Like in terms of, you always had that amazing drive to try and bring standards up and bring people together? Because it seems like it's built in you that you really
because someone that is involved in football at the level that we were at, and how far behind we were in many areas to other clubs, someone that is involved is not enough. It's not enough. It's going to let you down. When we get a bad result, when something doesn't happen, it doesn't agree with another department, it won't happen. So these people cannot be part of this journey to hit the standard. When someone's going to leave his skin every day, regardless what happens, we have a much bigger chance. Yeah,
and your eye to detail is always something to be admired. I think from looking at like so many managers within world football, specifically around the stadium. I know it means so much to you. You want that extra man from the fans. What subtle differences can you see that you've been able to do as a club that have made that extra difference? Whether or not it be the song or the tunnel, for instance.
I think these are things that we can add on. I think what makes somebody feel the way that they feel when they go to a stadium is to see the behavior, the attitude of the people, the owner, how he comes, and then the sporting director, the CEO, and then the staff, and then the players and the managers. And when we act this, you see that hungriness, that willingness to go, to compete, to live the game with that intensity. That's contagious, and we have to transmit that to the crowd. And then we say, okay, can we improve the sound? Can we improve the way they act to the stadium? Can we improve the service? Can we improve the experience? Can we improve? Obviously we need, in my opinion, an anthem, something that unites. Music is, I think, the best way to connect people, because it immediately changes your emotional state. So all those things, and a lot of things that we can still get better to create the best atmosphere in the world for our players to perform.
Yeah, I touch on the tunnel because it's a notable thing this season. How much of a difference do you feel that makes? I mean, because obviously you used to have the tunnel would come out and the players wouldn't have that connection, slapping their hands as they come off. Is that something you really wanted?
It is, because our interview here, or we touch each other,
yeah.
It is very different on Zoom or here. And the closer we are to them and the more connected they can feel with us physically as well, I think the better, and we need to empower them.
Yeah. Looking over the last 6 years, what would you say then are some of the biggest learnings that you've taken, I guess as a manager and I guess as a man?
The most important thing is the people that you are within in that journey. Whatever the journey is around the people around you. Is what it brings joy every single day, and what it brings the biggest chance of probability to be successful in what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I guess I can ask the question on any regrets that you've got over the last 6 years, but I guess, do you see them as learnings more?
I do, yeah. I think when you give your absolutely best and you put every hour that you possibly can to make it work, and you do it always through the lens and the purpose of doing the best for the club, I think you're gonna make decisions that, looking back, probably are not the best, or you should have done something different. But you have, at the end, done your analysis, your work. You have followed your gut as well, and do what you think and you feel is the best thing to do. I think that you can be in peace, and I do have that feeling, but but constantly trying to evolve and be better and learn from those moments.
Yeah, and just quickly, the Premier League obviously has evolved quite a lot since you first came in. I mean, what characteristics have you seen in the Premier League this season that have been different from others?
I think the margins that every manager, every team is looking at to gain an advantage is gone to the millimeter almost. So everything is really important, you know. And before I said, no, we have to be very specific, 3 very simple messages and this, and it's great, the theory. The thing is to win and to increase the probability of winning a football match in the league, you have to dominate so many aspects of the game. And without that, you can drop points against any team.
Yeah. And finally, what's the differences that you see? What's the difference, that you see in your team this year? Because it does seem like there is a new level that they've broken into.
I mean, every season is different. I see difference because we have different personnel, first of all. At the end, the way you play is related to the players that you have, and that's their personalities, their character, their skill set, how they connect with each other.